Yay! I'm live! I did not do my normal setting a reminder, so I'm going to give a few people some time to come in and let me get my screen situated. My apologies if there's anybody already jumping in. I also have a little, I don't know if y'all can see it because I can't see my screen yet. I have a little helper in my lap. Let me find myself here. I hope everybody is having a wonderful Monday. There's my screen. Oh, yay! I see some friends. Hello, Rebecca, my BFF. Thank you for coming by, and thank you for being such a loyal, good, amazing friend. I appreciate you, my sister. She is one of the best mods in the Bears. Can you guys hear me all right? I don't have my earbuds on today. I didn't want this little fur ball right here. It's just been the biggest baby. The biggest baby ever. Him today so cool. Oh, I got a cool boy. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Just boiled Ratchet. We're going to try to go to. So, for those of you that don't know, I found. I found this little guy in the middle of the road. He was about to get hit by a car on Saturday, and I have been on the hunt ever since in trying to figure out where he really lives. Huh, buddy? Huh? Marks on my eyeball. Are you licking my face? So we are going to, after this, I'm going to visit some vets that were closed yesterday, or call around, and also try to find out maybe some info from some local groomers, because he looks like he's been groomed lately. As much as I love him and would want to keep him forever and ever, I know that he has, I'm sure he has a home, and he's probably very sad. Here, why don't you just sit right here, okay? You'll be a good boy. Sit right there. Okay. Oh, what a cutie. You're so good. How was everybody's weekend? Where is my chat though? I'm on top chat here. There we go. Hi, Sanwana. There's my southern charm. What's going on, Nathan? Redneckerson Resales. How are you, sir? Cindy, thank you for coming by. She says loud and clear. Good, because I know that sometimes it's a lot clearer if I talk into my little earbuds, and if it becomes a problem, then I can do that. I can put those on, no big deal. Hello, Tracy. Oh, both Tracys. Hello, Tracy and Tracy. Colin, Thrifty Falconer's wife. Hi. Dawn, Two Hip Chicks. Hello, Beth. Oh, my beautiful friend, 10 of Hearts. Nicole, Deb Kitty Sparkle. Princess says hello. Thank you all for coming by. Who else do we have in here? We have Harry Tornado, which would be Josh, I'm pretty sure. Thank you for coming by. Anamora, Hector, hello. Shamrock Pixie, I am here. Oh, you're not late. You're all right. Pat, hi, Pat. We were just talking about you over on Derek's channel, NASCAR 3345. We were talking about you. He says, on the road, how's the weather there? There's a storm coming. The mountains are supposed to get hit pretty hard, but here in Denver, it's just supposed to be really cold and 2 to 4 inches, which is like nothing. I can handle that. Mary, thank you for coming here. Says, I'm anxious. It's my first time here. Oh, don't be anxious. You're in a good place. good people up in this chat. And if there's not, then one of my mods is going to make sure to get that person out. DJ Mac, hello, evening. And actually, Mac, I have known you far too long for you to be gray still, sir. By the way, Mac, I don't remember what day it was when I was watching one of your videos, but you were doing some amazing music that day. I was all pumped. It was the one when you had it was a bunch of female singers that you had going. It was awesome. Lynn, hello, Rick, Star City Picker, thank you for coming by, sir. Nice today, but cold yesterday. I had to turn the heat back on. Yeah, Mother Nature's a little confused lately, isn't she, Pat? Yeah, it was 70 over the weekend here. Beautiful out. So beautiful out. Not really windy. It was gorgeous. And then yesterday, the weather kind of started to change. And then last night, it dropped. The temperature changed by 40 degrees just within, hours. I heard that other parts are really getting some serious snow. So the Nightbot loves us. Yeah, where is the Nightbot? Oh, is it throwing out you guys? Yeah. Oh, see, yeah. Apparently, Nightbot's going to be throwing out the people who are on the panel for our Sunday show. I forgot to change that, but I don't care. That's fine. Nightbot, you keep doing you, sir. So yeah, Nightbot for those of you that don't know is actually throwing down some of the links to the people who are on the panel for our Sunday show. And our Sunday show is every Sunday. We might be changing the time. I'm not quite sure, but this coming Sunday, for sure, absolutely, it's going to be on the Shamrock Pixies channel. And that involves myself, the Shamrock Pixie Destiny, Pat D72, Pat, and the Bargain Effect, Tommy. And yeah, we do a Sunday show every Sunday, and the topic is different. We do tend to kind of stick closer to the reseller topics, but you just never sort of know. I know that we did Summer Slowdown last night. Oh, wait, I just said it was on yours next Sunday, huh, Shamrock? Hello! That was last night's show was on Shamrock Pixie. This coming Sunday is Pat's. Oh, is Chris here? Chris! Am I fired still since I made it? Liquidation Ohio. Speaking of Pat D's, Liquidation Chris, he's going to be making an appearance as a special guest on our Sunday show. I'm giving Chris a hard time about being fired because I kept showing up late to his lives and missing his lives by 20, 30 minutes. It's hard for me sometimes to catch people, especially if I have my son during that week, because during the school year, I'm kind of like drill sergeant mommy between certain hours. And I'm an hour to 2 hours off from most of the people that I watch, quite often, or some of the reseller community. So it's usually around 7:30 to 8 or 8:30 that he does his lives, and I have a hard time trying to catch them on time because it's like shower time or bedtime. So I'm always teasing them. Am I fired, Chris? Chris, you didn't fire me yet, right, Chris? I just saw Thrifty Dad. Thrifty Dad is my YouTube reseller idol / hero. What up, sir? How are you today, David? I see all this love in here. Kimmy this week is on Pat's. Yeah, duh. I knew that. I got my brain all over the place. I missed out last week. I didn't do my after 10 weeks of doing my Monday motivational live. I did not do my move your ass, because we don't cuss around here. No potty mouse now, y'all. Or as, A-Z-Z, z, as, move your ass. Mondays. And it was a really funky week. I'm still kind of in a little bit of a weirdness going on. I don't like to go into great detail or have a whole bunch of the world, worry or anything like that. And I always like to try to keep positive vibes. But my pacemaker is being a little silly, and so I have to address that and get it kind of restarted. But thanks to, of course, like always, life likes to throw down everything all at one time. Budget is a little rough, and so I have not been able to do that. And when I get like that, and that happens to me where my pacemaker is like not kind of sort of keeping my heart in doing what it needs to be doing, I'll go in and they will ramp it up, meaning they'll make my heart race really, really fast and then really, really slow. And that tends to make it fine. And then I'm fine for, months, and then add stress on top of it. My fibro goes out of control and then is freaking out. So I'm like triple whammied in that. I don't want to be a moaner and a complainer, but I didn't want to come across as, literally it like feels like it's zapping me sometimes. And I'm like, and I just didn't want to kind of put off that vibe. And I was feeling sorry for myself, and I didn't do my Monday Motivation Live, but I did notice all the love, and I am so blessed to have so many people reach out to me, constantly just to make sure I was all right. That was amazing. Like I feel so loved. Really, I love this community and the YT world, and the reseller community. I appreciate all of you guys. Yes, Nicole, everyone needs a break sometimes. True story, right? Yeah, that's kind of what sparked my idea for the Monday motivation topic today, is finding balance. I tend to, because I'm a people pleaser, pour into everybody else's cup, and I love to be that way. I love to help so many people and be there and support, everybody. And sometimes I forget to pour back into my own cup. You truly can't fully love everybody else, and unless you love yourself first. You need to be number one. And I know, being a parent, that's hard to kind of think about, because you always want your children to be number one, and yes, they need to be number one, but you need to make yourself number one too. And I just sort of kind of, I don't want to say train wrecked myself, but I was too busy filling everybody's cup, and I forgot to fill my own, and it caught up to me. And that's not good. And I know, as a reseller, I know there's a bunch of you that can relate. Hi, Dia. Immortal Hourglass, thank you for coming by. I know that a lot of people in the reseller community can relate, because it's like, it isn't necessarily a 9-to-5 job. And even if, for those that do have a 9-to-5 job and then do reselling on top of it, that's even more stress, of course. But trying to always, be on the hunt for, it also depends on where you live. Sometimes you can only source during certain times, or list during certain times, or do this during certain times. And it's hard to kind of find balance. And I am very, very grateful and blessed to have the opportunity, and to have had, my own channel kind of blow up in sub-wise as fast as it has. But at the same time, it was sort of unexpected. I had done kind of a timeline out of what I wanted and my plans and goals, with my channel and with reselling. Definitely getting reselling under my belt was my number one before I even started YouTube. And I'm comfortable enough to where I could list, at least on eBay, with my eyes closed. That's not a problem. I've done that, plenty of years to be able to do that. But I took on the YouTube world, and it's fun. I love it. I love it. I love editing. I love putting out content. I love making, pre-recorded videos, and even, hanging out with all of you on your lives. And then, of course, on my channel. But I didn't really do it on a schedule like I'm used to. And it just kind of snowballed a little too fast for me. And I need to get back on track because I function better with consistency and planning and knowing exactly what's kind of going to happen day to day. And I know with the reselling, world, you can't always plan every single day exactly, but I need to at least be able to block out, periods of time to where I'm doing this or eBaying for, 2 hours, doing, YouTube for 2 hours or whatever it is. And then while school is in session and even during the later evening hours from like 4 to 7, I absolutely have to focus on my kids because trying to multitask and watch lives and do homework or do whatever else it is not working. And as much as I love everybody, just know that for those of you that do go live during those periods, that I'm here to I'll watch replays and stuff like that, but I can't always be there. And I just don't want people to necessarily feel left out or feel like I don't like them or whatever it is, because that's not the case. I have a lot of love to go around, but I need to focus, on getting back on a schedule just like I was before, at 4 o'clock before. And any other job I've ever kind of had, even running my own business and other business ventures, like when I had my cleaning business, stopping at a certain time to make sure I 100% was focused, on my kids, was good for them. My daughter is successful in school and just being her because I've always done that with her. And my son is 8 now, and things don't come to him as easy as his sister, and so I have to sort of give him a little extra attention during that time period because he's not always here. So it's like it takes a little longer for him to get back into the groove, and I want him to succeed, and I hope you guys understand that if you don't see me between certain hours, I apologize. It's not that I don't dislike anybody or anything, but I have to do what's best for me and my own immediate first, because it's stressing me out, having to worry about that. And we are getting close to summer, which is going to definitely help. They go, my children, I'm grateful that they have the opportunity to go to a school that, they go to a charter school. I'm grateful for that, for them to be able to be in a school that's known for their academics. It's rated very high up there in Colorado, for academically the children doing well, but it's hard, very hard for them. And I can't even lie, there are times when I'm like, I want to pull my kids from that school because the homework is too hard for me. But I think about the fact that, what am I teaching them? That, every time life gets hard, you quit? Like, no. I don't want them to think that every time that something's hard, you quit. I noticed that a lot of, and I apologize if this insults anybody, but sort of the younger generations kind of just expect things to be handed to them on a silver platter. And that's not the case. That's not how life works. It's a job. It's called a job because you have to work. It's not you go there and sit around and then get paid. And if you find a job like that, by all means, like, congratulations. But it's not, it's not like that. So I'm glad that they go to a hard school, but it comes kind of at a cost of a stress level. For real, in kindergarten, my son got this packet, and it was talking about the ABCs, and it was like, teach them, this word for X, and it was like zythropod or something. I don't even know what that is. You want me? I'm trying to teach my kindergartner, some of these things. It is what it is. How do you guys find balance? I'm curious how. I know Beth. I know that Beth likes to use a bullet journal. And if you guys are not subscribed to Beth, 10 of Hearts, you should be. I mention her almost every single live that I do. She is a good friend of mine, a very, very sweet person. I love her so much. Very smart. And she does bullet journaling, which is a great way to plan things sort of in a more artistic way, but I love the idea behind it because it's marking accomplishments instead of always, feeling like you're going through this laundry list of things to do. It's a great way, and actually a way that I learned when I went to therapy. Start writing down the things that you do accomplish, or make a little mark or whatever it is. So at the end of the day, you remember that you did all those things instead of always just looking at the list and noticing, oh, shoot, I didn't check that off. I didn't do that. I didn't do this. It's like for me, I do partial bullet journaling in a way, and I have a little calendar that when I do a listing, I make a little heart on the day, and I count all the hearts at the end of the day. I even do that for days I work out. If I do 10 push-ups, if I do 100 jumping jacks or whatever it is, I have a little calendar that I use that I mark down. I hope that you guys can't hear the train. Do you guys hear the train? I'm rambling and not breathing in between them. Usual Kim. What up, Bumcrack? That's my favorite name on YouTube right there. Anamora. H Goddess, hello. Xavier, hello. Priscilla Nilla. Ginger Snaps. I really like that name. Ginger Snaps. Adam. Hi, Adam. I was on Adam's channel a few weeks ago. It wasn't last week. It was a week before that. I was on his channel. You guys should check that out. Cutie Pie, hi. Welcome. I'm not a fan of participation trophies. Amen, Adam. Exactly. Like it's good to praise and be like, you know what, you did your best. That's what I always tell my kids, as long as you do your best. But I also want to teach them that, one, you need to not be a sore loser, and you need to be okay with not always necessarily being in first place, but I do baby my son more so than my daughter. And sometimes like if we play board games or whatever, it's just like not even worth arguing or I'm just like I'll purposely suck at it sometimes. But I also am teaching him, at the same time that like if you lose, it's all right. If you fail. So I told this to Destiny, the Shamrock Pixie, the other day. I fall, I fail, but I'm going to be just fine. I will fail, I will fall, but I'm going to be just fine. Just like to each one of you, you guys are going to fail. Well, fail hard, fail fast, fall hard. Well, maybe not hard, don't injure yourself, but, get over it, get your butt back up. You're going to be just fine. Brush that dirt off and move your as. And that's exactly, I face planted pretty much last week. It just, life got kind of a little overwhelming, and I think I was taking on too much, trying to be too much of a superhero and forgetting to pour back into my own cup. Mary Beth. That would be Mary Deathy Deals. She's my pacemaker buddy. Leticia, I had to take time off from YouTube. Yeah, I get it, dude. I totally get it. I know I've been trying to get things sorted out, so I've been missing so many lives, preparing for going out of town, and also getting my sister's kids this summer a lot. That's what Misha said. Yeah, it's funny how, well, we kind of all get sort of wrapped up in the YouTube world, and I'm I don't know the right word, but I'm amazed at how offended, I guess, some people get if you don't show up. And And people have to remember that we do have lives outside of this. You know, some people put more of their life on YouTube than others, and that's fine, to each their own. But we have to remember to pour back into our own cup. You have to. You have to. You're going to run yourself ragged, and that's exactly what I did. And I'm paying for it still. Oy. What up, Nadissa? What up, Gear? Hey, girl, hey. That's what I always tell her every time I do. Hey, girl, hey. She has a cute little accent. Nene Miller challenge. Wow, I'm really honored, you guys, by so many people showing up. Look at my Nightbot. I'll throw in some of my friends some love. I know a lot of people don't like Nightbot. Jennifer, hello. Welcome, friend. Yeah, Nightbot, I went back and forth, and I know that there's a few people who were so against Nightbot that they refuse to come into the chat anymore, and I'm like, that's, to each their own. I think that's kind of silly, because I have Nightbot up for my own reasons, and part of that is to help with trolls. Another part is so that he could post out links whenever not whenever I want, but I can set them to, whenever I want. And the other people in blue, you guys don't have to worry about that. You guys just be in there with your blue. You're safe from Nightbot. Not that he's necessarily mean or anything. The first few lives I used him, I hadn't gone through all the details of it. And trying to set him up, so he was like smashing people left and right for using capital letters or for emojis and all that. He was smashing people. Another reason is because YouTube is getting a little more hardcore when it comes to spam and certain words and all of that, and I hear things back and forth on what is true or what is not true. I'm just trying to be kind of a step ahead of the game in that sense, so that I don't ever have to worry about my comments necessarily disappearing, or the sub for sub word, which I know that some say is coming up as spam. Yeah, so he's there to sort of help. He is not a real person, by the way, people. He is just a bot. He's a little robot. Oh, you guys are cracking me up. Yes, he's a good thing. I agree. Hi, Perla. Hello, beautiful lady. Hello, Paul. Wow, I feel so loved. You guys are all awesome. Thank you. Our schools hardly ever get homework. See, I wish that it was like that. I know that there's another county, Jefferson County, which is the county just next to where I live, which is in Adams County in Colorado. They are trying to make it so that kids go home with zero homework. And I wish that that was the case, because I think that's part of the, reason why it's almost hard to be able to find time, for family time every day. My kids do homework for 2 to 3 hours, Monday through Friday. Like, that's crazy to me. We're doing it because that's what the school wants, but to me, that's insane. 2 hours of homework for a second grader is crazy. Like, no wonder he doesn't like school. Lily's my daughter, she's a little more used to it. She's about to be in high school. Oh Lord, won't you buy me Mercedes Benz? I always sing that to my kids. They drive me nuts. I'm also like, drive to Mexico with all of my friends. Beth says, gotta go pick up the wifey. Oh yeah, that's fine, Beth. Tell her I said hi. Love you, Beth. I'll be doing a giveaway at 200. That is awesome. Rebecca, what are you at right now? What you at in subs? My subs are me taking time off and not doing my YouTube thing. more so on my channel because I've been on a couple lives, but on other people's channel, it is affecting my subscribers. They went down, I think 10 or something like that. Which is fine. I always say that YouTube's drunk half the time because one day it'll be up, or it'll be down 2 to 10, and then the next day it'll be up 50. It gets crazy, or 30 or something. Bye, Sanwana. Thank you for coming by, Sanwana, and thank you so much for all the sweet messages you always send me on Facebook. I appreciate you. You make my day when you do that. Lisa says she's only at 146. You're going to grow, though, Lisa. That's flipping crazy. Feel free to show each other love. If you're on your laptop, you just got to hit their little 3 buttons to the side. If you are on your phone, what is it? I think you hit their picture, right? Look at Nightbot. Showing my Tommy some love. Yeah. Steve. Pick and roll. He says it grows in waves for sure. Patrick. He says, I'm subbing to you tonight. Patrick. Charlie. Don't make me go all angel on you. So funny. Come on now, Pat. I was your first wrench, okay? Don't tell me you're subbing to me tonight. Oh, Patrick, what am I gonna do with you? I might have to change my chat to the slow thing because it flies sometimes. It starts going real fast. 9:44, almost there. Oh, that's amazing. You'll get there. It wasn't my intention to hit necessarily 1,000 as quick. It was cool that I did. I got, I had a few people who gave me some shout outs, which was very helpful. But I haven't put out enough content or enough long content, and I am so far behind in my watch hours. Or watch time minutes or hours, whatever it is. I think it's better to just kind of, just keep doing it and don't rush it. It will happen. Plus you want devoted subscribers, people who are going to watch you, because YouTube will, unclick that button anyways. Well, they unclick it. YouTube, I can't even tell you how many of y'all YouTube unclicks. I can't believe it. It drives me nuts. I'm debating on testing out a theory of subbing to people. Well, sorry, unsubbing to people, then resubbing. Because I noticed anybody new that I've subbed to more recently in the past few weeks, I get their notifications real quick. And their bells are still on. But the ones that I've been subbed to for a minute, it goes away. I mean, even Thrifty Dad, who you all should know is one of my favorite people. He's my reseller YouTuber idol / hero. YouTube keeps unhitting the bell on his. Good thing I know when he usually goes live, because me and YouTube, we might fight over that. Don't make me miss Thrifty Dad. Nope. What up? Is that Mr. Kaboom I see? Farm All Fanatic up in the house. Boom! I can't do it like he can. Boom. Bounty, hello, welcome. Pretty funny. Mr. Kaboom. Yes, and Nightbot just actually put up my Instagram. Feel free to follow. I do post on there. I'm not consistent always about it, but I do put more of, personal life or just what I'm up to, or I should be putting up more of the things that I sell, or even go and source, because I know that, let's see, boom! Thanks, Rebecca, for throwing out Thrifty Dad's link. Fox, the smartest dog in the West. Can I say that if you like dogs, you should come meet me? You were just over in NASCAR's, right? NASCAR man? I'm pretty sure that's where I just saw you, because I saw right before I left something about Joey Logano. We were discussing over in NASCAR man 3345, his chat. We were talking about NASCAR. I love NASCAR. I don't have like all the drivers and all of that kind of stuff, names memorized necessarily, because I'm horrible with names. It's more like, I used to as a kid pick out my favorite drivers by the color of the car. But I've been watching Joey Logano race for quite a few years. And when I first started watching him, he was like always getting like 20th place or somewhere in the 20s. And each year he would move up just a little bit. Last season he was sitting right between 10 and 15, and he's done pretty well. I'm really quite impressed. I also like that he kind of has a good vibe about him. He's not so like pig-headed as some of them, I think, kind of are. And speaking of NASCAR man, that is where I'm going to be hanging out on Wednesday, is on his channel. I should have had Nightbot put his link out. Rebecca, if you could grab that, if you're still around, that would be amazing. Yeah, Derek is a good friend. He's an amazing guy. If you guys are part of the reseller community, you should know who Derek is. That boy is so talented and so smart. I can't even, he's like an onion. You just keep peeling off all these layers, and you're like, what? What, Derek? You do ceramics. He's like, does, his little races. You hold up a Hot Wheel to him, and he pretty much can name what the Hot Wheel is. That's insane. And I've been collecting since I was little. I had brothers, and so we played Hot Wheels. What's up, Ashley? It's been a while since I tried to spit out your name. Okay, life with ankylosing spondylitis. Yes. Got it. Ankylosing spondylitis. I had to write that down, y'all. I had to break it down, and I just kept saying it all night. I'm like, ankylosing spondylitis. Just Nina and Sean, hello. Yeah, don't do too many emojis without being blue, huh, Nicole? That will eat you. Nightbot deserves a sledgehammer. Need to do a Hot Wheels collection video. Yeah, that would be cool. I haven't thought about doing that. Actually, I do have some videos of where I'm like, my son and I, we play with some of the cars that he has. I'm a firm believer, y'all. You should be, if you have kids, or even grandkids, like, get down on the ground and play with them. Play with Barbies or Hot Wheels or whatever it is. That's the kind of stuff that they remember. I had a great childhood in that sense that, my parents both did pretty awesome things. One of the reasons I love fishing is because of both of my parents. They both were very big into fishing. I might even be doing some fishing videos here soon. It's about, let's see, well, I know in 1 month, Memorial Weekend, I'm definitely going fishing. And I will be putting out some videos for that fall show. Land Shark Picker Craig. So sorry, my ass was stuck. Couldn't move it. Finally got here. Craig, you're too funny. Too funny, Craig. Going thrifting. All right, well, good luck, Fox. Fox out. Peace out, folks. Peace out. Yeah, after my live, I'm going to go see if we can find this dog's home. As cute as he is, I just keep thinking about the fact that a few years ago, I had a dog run away. It was when I moved from Kansas back to Colorado. This was quite a few years ago. And I never found him. And he was chipped, too. He was microchipped, and I never found him. He was a little beagle, like terrier mix, small, petite. but he had the same coloring, the big floppy ears, like a beagle, and I never found him, and I'm still crushed about it to this day. And then when I moved into this house, we had a cat named Skyla. Her name was Skyla Rose. She ran away too. I don't know if she tried to go back to our other house and somebody nabbed her in between, because I only moved about 30 seconds away, but she disappeared, never came back, and it just breaks my heart. Very unlike her to do. So I know that somebody's probably missing this little fluff ball of a dog that I saved. I'm such a sucker, man. I always be trying to save animals. Great way to be finding balance, huh, Kim? Just add more things on. And actually, the dog is calmed my heart rather than made it too crazy. My kids used to do the same thing. I was talking about this morning when I was on Norgus R, Darlene's channel, talking about how, you know, I was born with heart issues. I've had 5 heart surgeries, and when I was pregnant with my kids, it was pre pacemaker. My daughter was pre 5 heart surgeries, so she was before any of my heart surgeries. And it was amazing that, you know, you could watch my heart on a screen and it be nuts, and then the second that they handed me my kid, it would go back into rhythm. It'd be a little bit better. You know, it's not as fast. It's pretty awesome. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker. If I had all the money in the world, I'd save all the animals and all the kids, even though it would probably really stress me out. My plan one day is to, you know, do some, I've thought about, you know, doing maybe an animal sanctuary type of thing or something, you know, get a big plot of land and save a bunch of animals. There's a few actually sanctuaries around here for animals. Pretty cool. I've also thought about, you know, if I decide to not have kids again, which I'm coming up on 35. I don't know, man. You know, I only got 2 to 4 years, probably more like 2 left on my pacemaker battery. And I think that would be probably pretty hard to, you know, because it's a long kind of recovery, and you can't lift a certain amount after each time they move my pacemaker. You're not supposed to. So lifting a baby would really be hard, and I wouldn't do, you know, I wouldn't be able to resist. I would have to. So I, you know, might adopt someday. Let me catch up here. Gotta check the chat. You are great inspiration. Oh, thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. I just, you know, I kind of have this no excuse sort of attitude. I think that a lot of people, especially, for example, people I know who have a pacemaker, they have this, they think that when you get a pacemaker that you just have to quit life, you know, and there's a lot of things that you can't do. That is very, very true. But at the same time, you know, pacemakers are pretty amazing these days. They're not as big. You know, they're longer leads. Like, they can put them under the muscle now instead of right on top of the skin, and, or not on top of the skin, on top of the muscle underneath the skin. And it also, you know, it's like even if you have a pacemaker and you still have heart problems, which just because I have a pacemaker doesn't mean that obviously my heart issues, I have more than one heart issue. Pacemaker is just to make sure that my heart doesn't skyrocket and put me in a not good mode. I'm at a much higher risk, you know, for stroke already, and add the additional heart issues I have. I have mitral valve prolapse, ASD, which I had, which is atrial septal defect, which is a hole. And I have a metal mesh thing in my heart to cover that hole. And then I have rapid beat, accelerated junctional disorder, and my heart be broken, y'all. But I don't let that stop me. You know, people with pacemakers, there's only 10% of the population of people with pacemakers who are under 65. I am part of that group, and there's a lot of them who just, they're like, oh, life is over. And I think that there's a lot of people who can relate to that kind of sense, whether it's you get an injury that maybe doing certain things you can't do anymore, but it doesn't prevent you from accomplishing something. Maybe you might just have to kind of change your dream a little bit or your goals a little bit, but don't just quit, man. Do not make it to the end of your life wondering what if. Don't do it. I actually just watched someone last week, because when I get really down in the dumps, I binge listen to motivational speakers like crazy. And on Netflix right now is a lady named, I want to say Brene Brown. It's Brene Brown. And I was so grateful to have come across that. If you guys have Netflix, you should watch that. And she literally talks about, don't make it to the end of your life wondering, what if I had put forth more effort? What if I had put myself out there? I know that you guys have all probably had moments of that what if moment. Don't what if yourself, do it. Try. What's the worst that can happen? We talk about this almost every Monday. There's two things that can happen. You're going to succeed or you're going to fail. And what's the worst if you fail? I mean, really. One, bravo to you for trying in the first place. Don't regret or resent not trying, because resentment and regret is poison. It eats at you. It's far worse than you going and putting yourself out there and failing. Because if you fail, if you fall, you're going to be just fine. You're going to be just fine. You will, I promise. You're going to be all right. You're still here, right? Be grateful every morning when you wake up and you take a breath, because there's a bunch of people on this planet who are not going to be lucky enough to do that. It's like here in Colorado, I don't know. I know that there's a few national news that put this out, but here in Colorado, they shut down the highway last week because of a car wreck. A gentleman driving a semi made not a great choice necessarily when his brakes went out in his semi of choosing the runaway ramp, but he lost his brakes, closed his eyes, thinking that he was gonna die, and crashed, caused a huge fiery mess, literally closed down the highway. That was the first time my entire life that I've ever seen I-70 shut down like that. Your big fiery like explosion. It was a semi with a bunch of wood on one. Another one had mattresses. Like, you're just asking for it, in that combination. And 4 people died because of that. And it just shows that you just never know. You never know, when is your last day. Like, use your time wisely. And don't feel bad for, maybe, it's like I know a lot of people who's like, oh, well, I've screwed up all this time already. I'm not going to ever be on a great path, or why should I bother? It's like people, YouTube, for example. I know people who will take a break one week, take another break the next week, and then think, oh, shoot, everybody's going to think I'm a quitter. I'm just going to be a quitter. And they never return on YouTube. Well, I'm like, don't be a quitter. Yeah, don't. There should be no excuses, y'all. Do what's best for you, of course, always in your immediate. What up, Paul? Me friend from across the pond. That'd be PMDB Entertainment. Oh, Paul. Paul's a really cool guy. Paul, I need to go watch you. I haven't seen you. And my beautiful friend, Tanya. She is so sweet, you guys. If you guys have not checked her out, you absolutely should. I honestly feel that people don't fear failure. They fear looking like an idiot in front of friends and family. You know, that's a really good point. It's really hard, especially YouTube, to put yourself out there and to even put yourself out there live. The first few, and it still happens even, first few lives, I cried after. I was like, I'm going to erase it. I probably looked like an idiot. Everybody's going to think I'm a train wreck. And they're all going to think I'm crazy. That's one of the reasons I didn't even want to go live in the first place, because I was like, everybody's going to think I'm a lunatic. You know, I'm a little hyper and a little happy and quirky, I guess. And then I thought to myself, if I live by the saying, you must always be yourself, because how are those looking for you supposed to find you? I need to be true to myself and just be myself, because it's far more effort to be fake than it is to just be me, you know? And if people don't want to watch me, then why do I care about that? Why would I want them to be in the chat? I shouldn't care about that. It's easier said than done, you know, of course. It's like, yeah, I definitely, you know, do have a fear sometimes of what others think. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with myself. And, you know, if people judge too quick, then that's honestly, not to sound like a biznatch, but that's their loss. You know, I'll put forth that effort and that friendship to somebody who deserves it. Cozy Rebecca. Did you guys figure out that thing that you were talking about, by the way, my cozy nest Rebecca? I know that there was a little discussion of a little thing for somebody. I don't think she's ever actually even watched me, so I'm not sure if she would ever venture here if you say it. Did you figure out a time? Miss Kim, taking your advice, gonna get my behind your gear and get some stuff done. Yes, do it, girl. Good. Age got goodness. Get some stuff done. I use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 rule. And no, it is not drop something on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds. It is actually a rule that I heard from Mel Robbins, a motivational speaker. She's amazing. You guys have not heard of her, you should. She's actually coming out with a TV show, so she's awesome. And she talks about a theory that she came up with where she just basically one morning was like thinking about not wanting to get out of bed, you know, like regretting the day, not even wanting to get up and move or anything. And so she thought about being a rocket and just shooting up. And she literally just told herself, you know, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and she just shot up and got up out of bed. And as silly as and as simple as that sounds, it's amazing how much, like, our biggest enemy is usually ourselves. There's not everybody else. It's what's already up here. You know, if you wait too long on something or you push off something too long, you're either not going to do it or you're going to convince yourself otherwise. So you need to use that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 mindset and not let your brain get the best of you. You know, not let your brain put that doubt in your head. Not let your brain say, oh, you're too tired. Oh, I'll just do it later. You know, oh, I don't want to take out the trash right now. Just count backwards, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and get up off your behind and do it. It's as simple as that. Really, you'd be amazed at how amazing applying that rule to your life is. Really. I mean, just the simple counting backwards and just getting up off your behind and doing it. And another thing I always love to tell people is don't wait till later in the day to do your priorities. You know, your best functioning time and get her done type of time is right honestly when you wake up in those first few hours. That's when you need to be doing the things that are your priority. You're gonna feel amazing about the rest of your day if you just get up and do those things, you know, right away. It's life happens and things are going to happen and you're going to continue to just always come up with an excuse, and then you're going to feel crappy about yourself because you didn't get all these things done or you waited too long or whatever it is. I know as a mom that I cannot assume that if I put off something till later in the day that it's absolutely going to get done, because who knows, you know, my son is a klutz. Who knows, he might trip over something and have an owie or boo-boo or something, and that, you know, prevents me from doing something right away. Or I'm going to try to be an animal whisperer like I just was Saturday and pick up a dog, save a dog from the street from getting run over. And it's, you know, gonna take time to separate my dogs and, you know, feed them and all of that stuff. So it's better for me to just get up and get things done than it is to wait. People ask me, where do you find time to do all these things? I get up early, y'all. Pretty early. I'd like to get up even earlier than I do if my body would. See, I need to just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 o'clock alarm goes off. Get up. But you can get a lot done, you know, if you get up a little earlier. Be surprised. You know, just use your time wisely. Basically, is the best thing. I know that not everybody functions quite well in the morning. You can make yourself do that eventually. Train your body to get used to something. It takes like 2 weeks, you know, 2-3 weeks to really get into the groove of something. You know, even your kids, you can get your kids into a groove, you know, of things in a schedule. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get off your ass and do it. Yes, Rebecca. Is she related to Tony Robbins? She is not. I thought that at first. I do like Tony Robbins. I like Gary Vee better than Tony Robbins, but I also like Mel Robbins for one of the same reasons that I like Gary Vee, and that he just kind of is a straight shooter and he just tells you how it is. You know, he ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing. Like, that's like, for example, if people ask, well, why are my sales slow or whatever it is in your eBay store? Well, are you doing all of these things? You know, most people will kind of, no, I wouldn't say necessarily sugarcoat everything, but Gary Vee would be like, well, because you effing don't have it right. Are you doing all of these things? You know, there's plenty of things that you need to be doing, you know, and making sure is, and there's all kinds of content out there, enough content out there, and enough of us that's putting out content for, you shouldn't be having a horrible time, you know, necessarily. It's something more than likely on the end on whoever, you know, is having the slower sales. Plenty of other things to do. What up, Anthony? Pittsburgh in the house. I might go back to sleep for a few, then move my hands. 50, 49, 48, 47. Mary Beth, you crack me up, girl. Mary Dusty Deals is my pacemaker buddy. She too has a pacemaker. It is 1 o'clock, y'all. I like Gary Vee, but the language is overkill. Yeah, you know, he can be a little much sometimes, for sure, and you have to be mindful of when you're watching him, you know, if you're around kids, unless you don't mind your kids hearing all that. But He does sort of have a potty mouth. I just like that he's straightforward, you know. He's done well for himself. Is he a salty language user? Yeah, he can be for sure, for sure. Craig, are you doing any interviews this week, sir? If so, you should tell me what day. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. So Monday motivations are back on. Be here every Monday at noon Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Central. And we do have our Sunday show. This Sunday it'll be on Pat D72 on his channel. We're gonna have he's gonna have a special guest, Chris Liquidation or Ohio. Oh, he's going to be on our show, and I'm really, really excited because liquidation is something that I would like to get into more. You know, I've done a little bit, but I'm looking for maybe thinking about doing some pallet, you know, getting some pallets. I live in Denver, the Denver area, and I'm sure that there is plenty of places that I could do that. I love sourcing, though. I love to go out and hunt for things, and I'm definitely going to start gearing my reseller, the things that I resell, higher value, less quantity, because I've been trying to push for the whole, you know, wanting more items, more and more items. And I just don't necessarily want to be doing that every 2 seconds of the day. So I'd rather do eBay or reselling for 2 hours or an hour, you know, Monday through Friday, and that be it. And I can do that. I can do that. I just have to source more to be able to find those things, you know, and it's going to be being a little stricter about budget and maybe taking my budget per item and making it higher, because I'm like all gung-ho about some bags, you know, some 99-cent bags. But usually the value of each, you know, at most is $20 to $40 per, you know, item, or if I'm lucky. And I want to hit even higher. I want it to always be that. I don't want it just to be that one item in a bag and then have all these other items that I can maybe sell for $5, you know, to $10. Those are all good and gravy. But for me and the future of my reselling part, I would rather, you know, make thousands of dollars off of a few items, because I think that would be pretty cool. And I can do it. I know I can do it. I just have to get my butt up, move my behind, and go out and about more often. Doesn't do much liquidation. Yeah. You're right, yeah. I need to find a good one. Want them to be topic based, so trying to find a good topic and guest to pair up. Well, I'm sure whatever you figure out, whoever you have on your channel, Craig, it will be cool. I really enjoyed actually you having Beth on your channel, because I thought it was neat for her to be talking about selling parts. There's really good money in selling parts. I was aware of that. And you know, through the reseller community, people keep talking about that. There's good money in you know, parting out things. I part out things, but it's more in the sense of toys or getting something that's like a bunch of characters or something, you know, toys, figurines, who knows what it is, and separating it. Then after a certain amount of time, usually 90 days, I'll lock things back up if they haven't sold. If it still doesn't sell, then I usually price it low, make it go. I'm getting more into local sales. I'll be doing more local sales because they're big money and big items, but I don't like to sell big items on eBay. not necessarily. Yep, trying to come up with topics that people aren't doing as much. I think that is a great idea, Craig. I'm sure that you can figure that out. All right, y'all, I'm going to wrap this up. Make sure to come check me out Wednesday, noon my time, 1 p.m. Central on NASCAR Man 3345. I will be hanging out with him, and I'm not sure where else I'll be throughout the week. Usually, Monday through Friday, I'm watching Dee or hanging out live with Dee, who is flipping particles. She is one of my favorite people to hang out with. Her and her sister are such a hoot, and they always make me laugh. That's actually usually where Chris is. You can, not to give out Chris's all his secrets where he's at, but he tends to come visit Dee during his lunch. Man, he is so busy. I don't know where he finds time to do anything. He's all sourcing during his lunches. Perfect example of a person that has a full-time job and is still able to source, consistently. I give him props, man. Thank you all for being here. Mary Beth, love you, girl. Adam, thank you for stopping by, sir. Adam does have a show also on Wednesdays. Ooh, is it the same time, though? This one I'll be, let's see. No, wait, it's 2. Oh, I can't remember. He's a good guy. Adam is like one of the ultimate mods, y'all. He is almost blue everywhere you go. Pretty amazing dude. Really nice guy. And plus, he's got all kinds of jokes, y'all. Adam, where's my joke? I'm going to tell you that every time now. Where's my joke? 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that'll be perfect then. Because that'll be 1 my time. So, cool beans. Email me, please, Kim. Okay, yeah, Rebecca, I will. It is, I have it written down. I will. Thank you, everybody, for coming by. Bye, Anthony, Pittsburgh, Mary Beth, Rebecca, Zombie Dave. Oh, Zombie Dave, I know you. I'm changing you blue before you leave. And, oh, there we go. There's NASCAR Man right there. Thank you, Derek. Craig, as always, Landshark Picker. Thank you, friend, for you just being you. The Shamrock Pixie, Destiny, love you, girl, so much. So amazing you are. Yay, Dave, you look so handsome in blue. I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow, Dave, in Flipping Particles chat. All right, toodles, y'all. Much love. Make sure to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move your ass. Love you all. Until we meet again. So long. Farewell. Goodbye, YouTube world. See you next time, my friends.